The offseason is in full swing for Chargers fans, and the excitement is palpable. With all the rumors circulating about who might be joining the team, it's clear that the Chargers are a hot destination this year. Big names are eyeing Los Angeles as their next potential home, and honestly, it makes sense. After all, the Chargers have undergone a dramatic transformation. What was once a 5-win team is now an 11-win team with a playoff berth. And there's no question that the new era under Jim Harbaugh promises even more success. The team's trajectory has shifted. What was once a season of figuring things out, building a roster, managing the budget, is now all about building a championship-caliber team, and the Chargers are in a great position to do so. With plenty of cap space and a strong draft pick pool, they have the resources to make big moves. The speculation around which stars will join the team is heating up, and today we'll dive into some of the big trade rumors that have been swirling around. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. Now, these aren't just random predictions or my own guesses. These are rumors and predictions that have been circulating across the league. Some of them might be more likely than others, but it's worth taking a look at what's out there. With the Chargers' newfound reputation and their considerable resources, a big move feels imminent. The question is, who will it be? Again, take everything with a grain of salt. These are all rumors and nothing is set in stone yet. But with the Chargers' rising reputation and their position in the league, they're bound to be linked to some major players in the offseason. Let's start with one of the biggest names in the trade rumor mill, Micah Parsons. I've seen the talk around Micah Parsons, and while it might seem like a long shot at first, the more you dig into the situation, the more it makes sense. The Dallas Cowboys and Parsons in particular have some uncertainty surrounding them, and with the Chargers' resources and ascending success, it's not out of the question that LA could be a landing spot for the Cowboys' superstar linebacker. Micah Parsons would certainly be a massive addition to the Chargers if they could pull it off. The thought of pairing him with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the edge is enough to get any defensive coordinator excited. That group would be absolutely lethal, and it's clear that the Chargers are building a foundation for sustained success. Last season, we saw a glimpse of how important the edge rush is to the defense, with Khalil Mack and Bosa providing pressure on quarterbacks. But the Chargers aren't satisfied with just a solid edge group. They want to build a truly dominant one. Now, it would be interesting to see how the Chargers manage this thing, because both Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa are heading to the free agency. One move that gives us a clue about their thinking is the signing of veteran edge rusher Bud Dupree last offseason. This move signals that the team values the edge position highly and might be willing to invest heavily in it. If they were to go after a player like Micah Parsons, it would be a bold move, but a move that could pay off big in the long run. At just 25 years old, Parsons is already one of the most dominant players in the league. Last season, he posted 43 tackles and 12 sacks, cementing his status as one of the NFL's premier edge rushers. If he were to become available, the Chargers would be wise to go all in. Of course, it wouldn't come cheap. A trade for Parsons would likely cost a first-round pick this year, possibly next year and more. But that's the price of acquiring a player who could be a cornerstone of the defense for years to come. Given the Chargers' resources, both cap space and draft picks, they are in a position to make this kind of move. It's a risk, but with the right pieces in place, it could be the type of game-changing acquisition that propels the team into championship contention. Now, let's look at another player who has been linked to the Chargers in trade rumors, Cameron Jordan of the New Orleans Saints. At 35 years old, Jordan might not have the same explosive upside as Parsons, but he's still a force on the field. If you're wondering whether he's too old to be effective, think again. Jordan has been a game wrecker for years, consistently producing double-digit sack seasons and bringing leadership to the defense. Even at 35, he's still a highly productive player, especially against the run, where his strength and experience come into play. Jordan wouldn't come with the same hefty price tag as Parsons. While Parsons would likely require multiple first-round picks and a big contract extension, a trade for Jordan would be much more affordable. The Saints have been known to navigate the salary cap with some creative moves, often trading or releasing players to clear space. Jordan's contract is manageable, and with the Saints needing to free up cap space, it's possible he could be on the move this offseason. A trade for Jordan would be a smart move for the Chargers if they're looking for a veteran presence to help solidify the edge rush. He wouldn't be the centerpiece of the defense, but he would be a key contributor, especially in a rotational role. Pairing him with Khalil Mack and Tuli Tuipulotu on the edge would give the Chargers a well-rounded, experienced group capable of wreaking havoc on opposing quarterbacks. What makes Jordan even more intriguing is the potential for a relatively cheap acquisition. The Chargers wouldn't need to give up much in terms of draft picks, and they'd be able to absorb his contract without breaking the bank. It's a low-risk, potentially high-reward move that could give the defense a major boost. Tyrann Mathieu, or Honey Badger, may not be the same player he once was, but he still has plenty of juice left in the tank. With 7 tackles, 2 fumbles, 3 interceptions, and 7 passes defended last season, he proved that he can still contribute at a high level. Pairing him with Derwin James and Alohi Gilman could give the Chargers one of the most dynamic safety tandems in the league. The idea of letting James play closer to the line of scrimmage while while Mathieu covers the back end, could give the defense a lot of flexibility. Though Mathieu isn't the game changer he was in his prime, he could still be a valuable addition to the Chargers' secondary, especially at a reasonable price. Shifting gears to the offensive side of the ball, the running back position has been getting a lot of attention in the rumor mill, with a few big names linked to the Chargers. Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars has been one of the more intriguing names to pop up. Despite a strong start to his career, Etienne's production has dropped off in recent years, especially after the Jaguars brought in Tank Bigsby. After 2 solid seasons with over 1,000 yards, Etienne only managed 550 yards and 2 touchdowns last season. His struggles have raised questions about his future in Jacksonville, especially with Bigsby showing promise. For the Chargers, a trade for Etienne could be an interesting move, but it wouldn't come without its risks. Etienne is still a talented player with the potential to be a lead back in the right system. He fits the mold of a Charger running back, strong, powerful, and capable of blocking well in the backfield. However, there's no guarantee he'll return to his former level of play. The Chargers have shown in the past that they're willing to take chances on players who may not be living up to expectations, such as their trade for Elijah Molden, so Etienne could be an affordable gamble if the Jaguars are looking to move on. With the Chargers needing a more consistent running back, Etienne could provide some upside, but there's also a compelling case for looking elsewhere. The upcoming 2025 NFL Draft is stacked with running back talent, and the Chargers could find their future back in that class. However, if Etienne were available at a low price, he could be worth taking a shot on as a potential RB2 or even an RB1, depending on how the Chargers view his skills and development. Another name that often comes up in trade rumors is Jonathan Taylor, the 26-year-old running back from the Indianapolis Colts. Taylor is coming off a 1,400-yard, 11-touchdown season, making him one of the top running backs in the NFL. His combination of speed, power, and vision would make him a perfect fit in the Chargers' offense. However, his contract situation could be an issue. Taylor is set to make big money in the coming years, with a cap hit of around $10 million in 2025 and $13 million in 2026. While he is an elite talent, the Chargers would need to make sure they can fit his contract into their plans. Injuries have been a concern for Taylor in recent seasons, and his availability could be a question mark moving forward. If Taylor can stay healthy, though, he would give the Chargers a top-tier back to pair with Justin Herbert's passing attack. However, the cost of acquiring Taylor would likely be high, both in terms of trade compensation and his salary. Given the talent in the upcoming draft class, the Chargers may opt to build their running back room through the draft rather than making a splashy trade for someone like Taylor. The Jonathan Taylor situation is definitely one that the Chargers should monitor closely. Although there are concerns about his availability due to injuries, his past performances, such as his 1,400-yard, 11-touchdown season, demonstrate that he's an elite talent when healthy. However, considering the cost, both in terms of trade compensation and his substantial contract, the Chargers may have to think carefully before making a move. The Indianapolis Colts are reportedly struggling to find their rhythm, especially with their quarterback situation, which could push them to part ways with Taylor, making him a potential trade target. A second or third round pick might be a reasonable price for someone of Taylor's caliber, though the contract could still be a challenge to fit into the Chargers' cap space. Now, switching to the wide receiver position, there have been whispers about the Chargers pursuing some big names, including DK Metcalf and Garrett Wilson. Both players could be game changers for the Chargers' offense, with Metcalf offering a physically dominant presence and Wilson boasting the kind of talent that could complement Justin Herbert for years to come. While Metcalf might not cost as much as Wilson, both trades could be expensive, and the team may need to part with a high draft pick to make it happen. Metcalf's situation with the Seattle Seahawks has been interesting, with rumors swirling about his potential availability, especially if he wants a fresh start. For the Chargers, acquiring a player like Metcalf could be an immediate upgrade to the wide receiver core, providing Herbert with a true #1 option. On the other hand, Garrett Wilson, coming off an impressive 1,100-yard season, could be a more long-term fit, making him a prime target if the Jets decide to blow up their roster after a failed season with Aaron Rodgers. Lastly, Deebo Samuel has also been a name linked to the Chargers in trade rumors. Though he's not the same player he was in 2019 to 2020, Samuel still offers a versatile weapon for the offense, especially with his ability to line up in multiple positions and block well. However, his hefty contract, which would come with a $15 million cap hit this year, might be a tough pill to swallow for the Chargers, especially given his decline in production. While he could still contribute in the right system, the Chargers might want to look at other, more cost-effective options, such as Metcalf or Wilson. So, what do you think? Which move could be the game changer for LA? Share your thoughts in the comment section.